Hey guys, good morning. Captain Jake here, Wild Man Warehouse. Today, getting ready to pack up and go to Orange Beach. It's into April the 30th. We're going to go to Orange Beach for the family, little family trip, and I wanted to take a couple minutes to talk to you guys about another Twin Vee review. I've had this Twin Vee for a little over a year now, and a lot of you guys appreciated the review I did previously to it, and now I've owned it for a year, so I can talk a little bit more intelligently about my experiences with the Twin Vee. One of the most important things you're going to want to know about this boat is trailering it is very let's see, peculiar. I grew up fishing freshwater boats. I'm not a saltwater fisherman, you know, like born and raised on the saltwater. I learned this. Okay, so I've been launching Malibus and Master Crafts my whole life. Now, float-on trailers, says right there, float-on trailers are designed to be, oddly enough, floated on. So what the mistake that I made, and a lot of guys make when they buy these boats, they just don't know, they back the trailer down into the water to the tops of the tires. You know, I was always taught whenever the top of the fender was at the water line, that's when you stop, you know. Well, on these boats, you want to bury it all the way past the Teflon, all the way past the rails. You know, you want to bury that trailer as much as you can. And it stinks because that salt water is getting all over everything, and I know how you feel. But if you don't bury it, then what you're going to get is you're going to get some chipping. Now, you're probably going to get some chipping regardless of the gel coat. Now, let me see if I can find the chips that I've got. Now, warranty will cover it so let's see, there's some scraping. Where's that big nasty chip that I have? I know I've got it in here somewhere. I might have to clip this out so I'm not just looking around. It's still pretty dark this morning. Get my old flashlight out here. Where is that chip? Okay, there's some small chips right there. There's some small chips. Let's see, where's the big one at? Alright, well, let's get in here. Alright, so you're gonna get that kind of stuff right there. And that's scary, okay? You can buy a brand new boat. This is a 2020, okay? And this is April 2021. And you're like, oh my God, that's terrible. So they will warranty this, but they're gonna wanna see if it's in the gaps. That's the way it was put to me. If it's in the gaps, they don't want to warranty it for whatever reason. But if it's on the flat surface right here, it shouldn't be doing that. Now I don't know all the details behind it, but I know the guy that sold me the boat. Well, Jimmy at Paradise Marine is one of the most knowledgeable guys that I've talked to about these boats. And he said that the best way to avoid it is to bury the trailer every time. And that's what I've started doing. And all these marks that I'm seeing are older marks, real old marks. So since I started burying the trailer, I haven't gotten any more of those. Whew, I hope I don't get any more, because I'm gonna get all these little chips fixed under warranty work. They've already filed a claim and everything. They just wanted to make sure that no more were gonna happen before we had the work done. That way I don't get the work done and then have more chips. So know that. Bury your trailer and pay close attention all the way down inside and the outsides of the sponsons where it contacts your rails. All right, I've spoken enough about that. When this boat was sold to me, the pulpit for the anchor was not installed correctly. or it was the wrong pulpit actually, and this was contacting here. So pay attention to that when you get yours. I think it was just an oversight, and they corrected it. That was a warranty issue. A check valve was installed incorrectly underneath my center console seat, or underneath my live well. What you do is you can actually pull this compartment out. If you pop this open, you can pull this compartment out by removing these screws here. You pop this out, and then you can access all the plumbing underneath the live well and the underneath the seat. If the check valve's not installed correctly underneath this seat, the way that it's designed, it will actually scup water in to your dry storage when you're underway because of the pressure of the water pushing back. So a check valve's crucial. So before you fill your center console seat with all your dried goods and your expensive tackle like I did, then run it offshore with the plug pulled out and see if it fills with water. Because if it does fill with water with the plug out, then even if you put the plug in, it will leak past the plug and ruin all your dried goods. So please test that before you fill it up with towels and all your terminal tackle, because it'll ruin your day. It did mine, but they repaired that under warranty. They fixed it, and so far so good. I'm using that as permanent dry storage, so I actually siliconed my plug into place because I don't want it to happen again. But that's how you access that. Just pay close attention to that. That's one thing you're going to want to pay close attention to. Other than that, the ladder is an issue with these Twin Vees, and the reason it's an issue is because of the design. The way that it's designed, I'm going to show you, is, you see that? Every time you come in and out of the boat, you turn that screw. Well, the problem is you're over torquing it, and you're backing it out. So either one or two things is going to happen through the course of getting in and out of the boat 100 times, or just the slight rocking motion of the boat underway with the gap in that strap. It's going to slowly back that screw out. You're either going to lose your $1,500 ladder, or you're going to snap the head off that bolt and lose your $1,500 ladder. I lost a bolt while I was offshore. I noticed it. I removed the ladder because I happen to have tools on board. I believe that's a 3/8 Allen wrench. I'm about to grab some Loctite right now, and what I'm going to do, my fix for that problem is going to be, I'm going to remove the screws. I'm going to Loctite the crap out of them, and then I'm going to screw them in all the way, but not quite firmly. Like, I'm not going to just cinch down on them, because when you cinch down on them, then you're causing friction between the ladder and that bolt. So instead of acting like a bearing, it's going to act like it's going to break that seal. So I'm going to run the bolts in all the way, and then I'm going to back it out just a little bit, so it allows enough space for that ladder to open and close. I'm not going to do that on film, but I just wanted to grab my Loctite so I could remember to do that before we get started. You know how it gets on these trips, you get to going crazy. I had some odd wear happening on my trailer tires when I bought the boat, and I took it back, and oddly enough, the axles were bent slightly on my trailer. Now, this is one of the first float-ons that they offered for these boats, so it might have been just a slight miscalculation in the weight of the boat and how everything spreads out whenever the weight of the boat's applied. Could have been a miscalculation by the engineers that built the I don't know. Pay attention to your wear on your tires. If your tires start wearing unevenly, address it quickly, because on a boat like this, if it's wearing unevenly, it's going to wear quick, and then you're going to be on the side of the road on Highway 1 somewhere in the worst possible situation on a 110-degree day changing tires. We've all seen that guy, and we've all been that guy if you've been doing this for very long at all. Other than that, let's see, F-150. You're like, oh my God, is he pulling his boat with his F-150? Sure am. This F-150 does a great job pulling this boat. It's got an 11,600 pound towing capacity, and I'm scratching all over that with this boat. I put it on the scales. The boat weighs 11,300 pounds on cat scales, certified, fully loaded. So I'm all over my towing capacity. That's fine. I got airbags in the back, and they work phenomenally. I've got the airlift airbags, the remote controlled airbags, and you can see them right there maybe. I know my neighbors think I'm crazy. Why is this guy underneath this boat? Underneath this truck? Okay, so I'll show you how these airbags work. I just had to replace my compressor, but these airbags are phenomenal. Did I leave my keys? Let me go grab my keys real quick. I'm going to show you how awesome these airbags are. If you're pulling a boat, you're going to want these, especially if you live in Louisiana, because oh my gosh, the roads are terrible. I'm gonna talk quiet because everybody's still sleeping. Let me grab my keys. Hey, you still hanging out? I appreciate you hanging out. Hit the like button down there and drop me a comment if you appreciate this video, if it helps you out at all. It takes a lot of time making these videos, and I'm trying to do this full time. You know, I'd love to be a fisherman full time, and the quicker I can pick up steam on this YouTube platform, the quicker I can retire and captain and video and film and produce full time. How amazing would that be? That's my dream. So I appreciate that. So here's the airbags. They're awesome. Airlift. Now they make a cool app too, and there you go. Hear that? So this truck absolutely would not pull this boat without this system. So I'll set it to about 65 psi for this system. I had that installed local. Altai Truck Accessories in Lafayette installed that for me. They do a great job. That compressor comes with a 2-year warranty, and all the components are stainless steel for this lift system I've got. Other than that, I'll talk about a couple of the things that I added to this boat, specifically the major add-ons. Let me turn my radio off.
Into the Louisiana Arts and Science Museum.
All right, so the Rhodan trolling motor has done okay so far. A couple of complaints I've got is the plug, the wire broke on the plug. So I just don't know if that was something I did or it was something that happened. But you know what's up with this? What's up with this? Because I mean that's terrible. What does the rest of it look like? If it looks like this right here, now it had to get nicked somehow or another, and get some salt water in there and just started rotting. So that's my project for today. Whenever I get there, I'm gonna have to re-terminate that connection. So the last time we went offshore, it acted a little funny on me. This clamp is getting difficult to deploy. I had a lot of trouble with it kind of getting sticky. When I first got it, it was just very, very smooth, and now it's getting kind of sticky. So I'm gonna have to look into what kind of maintenance I can do to grease that thing up and help it to get more smooth. But other than that, that's the only really major add-on I have. and I'll show you my secret weapon here. I'm going to Orange Beach, and you know, I don't spend a lot of time in Orange Beach, so I'm not that familiar with those waters. And it's a big boat, and anytime you go into a new area in a big boat, there's always a risk of you know, running aground. And you follow your markers to a certain extent, but it's nice to have a little bit of local knowledge, especially in the Florida Keys, but North Florida as well, depending on where you're running your boat at. I would highly recommend Florida Marine Tracks. Now you just plug the card in to this mini SD slot right here. You go to your settings, you select chart source. Let's see, it's still, see, that means it's still thinking right there. That's give me a second. Give me a second, I'm thinking. I hope I can one-off this video and I don't have to do a lot of editing. And that's what I've been trying to learn how to do, because man, editing takes so long. If you have a lot of cuts and stuff you gotta break up and stitch together, it turns into a real time-consuming process. And I barely got time to fish, much less edit. So that was just me looking and putting some spots down in my Florida Keys area for that trip coming up in May. But North Florida, we're going to be over here right on the Florida-Bama line. So you know, we're staying over here in the Perdido Key area, and the detail, where's Orange Beach Marina, Perdido Key? So look here. So all these red lines is tracks you can follow, and of course it's got the low tide numbers as well. But we're staying right here. That's our house. We're gonna be staying over here, and you can see we stayed there before. We stayed there before. So we're gonna be staying here again, right up here, and this is how we come back and forth. Look here. But we got these great lines we can follow. All these red lines, and you know, these shallow areas. If I didn't have this Florida Marine Tracks, I wouldn't know about all this. I'd be just drifting all through here. Look here. Let me show you the difference between Florida Marine Tracks satellite overlay with your tracks versus what you get out of the box with the Simrad. I mean, it tells to you about this little spot, but man, so much better. This is just, I love this, man. I love this right here. This makes me feel good. It makes me feel good when I'm traveling. You know, I'm looking around and I'm seeing what I'm seeing here, and it all just, I don't know, makes me feel better. I love this thing. So we'll be traveling all through here in this next week. And look at all this stuff up in here. He's got all of it marked. He updates it constantly. He really stays after this data. It's impressive. This guy's a brain on this data. He pours himself into it, and he runs all these tracks himself in his boat. All these red lines, this is not something he's just kind of guessing at. He runs them with his boat. So you probably passed him if you've spent any amount of time on the water out there. Go check out his website, Florida Marine Tracks, ISLA mapping. They've got some videos. They've got several different areas they offer. They offer Louisiana, North Florida, and South Florida. But you're just not going to regret buying that for your area. That's going to be way better than Navionics, way better than the Garmin. The problem is these aren't compatible with Garmin. You're going to have a low rand source Simrad. But man, how awesome is that? You go anywhere you want, all up in here, all up in here. Shows you where you can travel. So if I want to run my boat up in here and redfish one day, I kind of get an idea where I can go. I don't have to worry about it and guess. I can go full throttle. That's what I like. Anyhow, that's just a quick review. Is there anything else that I need to mention? Boat's pretty easy to clean. I really kind of want to do sea deck, but I'm not sure how it's going to hold up. Another thing you're going to want to know about is this gel coat. It's going to chip. You know, you get your big doofuses with their lead weights swinging around like wrecking balls, and it's going to chip. And if you're any amount of OCD, it's really going to bother you. So just be aware of that. If you want to go stainless, you won't have to worry about the chipping. But I love the look of the white powder coat. Some of the guys warned me. They said, don't get the white powder coat, it's gonna chip. And they were not wrong. But I think that I could take some white fingernail polish and just touch the little spots up. And you're definitely gonna wanna have some mildew stain remover and rust stain remover on your boat. Starbright, I'll put a link to those in the description. You can check those out. I definitely have those on board all the time, because all these little screws, especially the ones that don't come from the factory, they're just not perfect stainless, and you'll start to get those rust circles around them, and we just can't have that. You just can't have it. I'm sorry my boat's so filthy. I just pulled it out of the storage unit and I've been washing on it, but also been just trying to get everything ready for the trip. So I appreciate you stopping by, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Drop a comment and let me know what you want to know about, and I'll see what I can do. Thanks guys, see you next time. Oh yeah, it's got the Orange Beach. Just launched the boat. Got my Florida Marine tracks going. I got bugs all over my stuff from towing it. Woo! Gotta love it. Woo! Try.